I'm putting this on right now as the 2013 Alpha Dog. First, we have our fearless leader, Brett Casper Gotch. Then we had Joe Thumper Kirk, Jeff Axum Jackson, Mickey the Mixter Gotch, Rob Swimmer Pantano, or is it Pantera? Like Brett. Just kidding, Swimmer, just kidding. Then we've got Steve Trapper Kuntz, Cowboy Tom Fagans, and Jeff Frogman Biegert. I want to go over some highlights of this trip, and you guys can remember a lot more, I'm sure, but these are some of my favorite memories. The one memory that I have that sticks in my mind was when Cowboy Tom Fagans had thought he had caught the big fish. He was bragging about the big fish, he was collecting money from everybody. Well, that was not the way it ended up. Swimmer and I had been fishing, and we caught, and I guess I caught him, the 48-inch pike. And we decided, wouldn't it be funny if we let Tom think that he won the big prize, and then we would put it on the video screen in the bar while we're all sitting there having drinks and going over the day's events, and Tom's got all his money collected, and all of a sudden, on the screen, this huge pike shows up. And somebody looks at that and says, my God, that's a big fish. Who caught that fish? Well, of course, lucky me. And somebody said, well, how big is the fish? Well, the fish was 48 inches. And we inched Tom out by 2 or 3 inches. Tom, the look on your face, you went from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows in 5 minutes. And you went back to your room and started gathering up all the cash you collected from us. You had to call your wife and tell her you were poor again. Joe Thumper Kirk. He shows up with a rod and reel that was designed to catch 800-pound sharks. It wasn't designed to catch pike up there. And Joe, I remember you catching a little fish with that big rod and reel, and I laughed until I was about ready to cry. Fishing with you, Trapper, is an experience in itself because you have to be the most serious fisherman I've ever fished with. All you did all day long was you cast a Mep spinner. Then you cast another Mep spinner. And when you're tired of casting, you cast more Mep spinners. So, you know, Trapper, I have no doubt you're going to be the alpha dog because your lure spends more time in the water than anybody else's. Hell, when we're eating lunch, you're fishing. And then there's Mickey Mixter Gotch. And he showed up looking like Willie Nelson with his braids and his headband, and he had the ugliest set of teeth I've ever seen in my life. He had a tie around his neck that matched his lower privates. Mickey, if you had something like that, you'd have something to talk about. Now we need to talk a little bit about the party. And it started off with our fearless leader, Mr. Gotch, regaining his World Championship leg wrestling title by throwing Nelly.
You guys got it. 2, 3.
Same time, if you guys remember Baby J, the little guy that didn't even have hair on his legs, he still's not shaven, and he's sitting over there after Brett finished throwing Nelly, and he's going, no, I'm not going to do that, and he goes, okay, babyface, here we go.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah!
There was also, at this point in time, if you'll remember back on the deck, there were several of us that got knighted. And this little gal comes up, she takes this lighted little wand and she taps you on one shoulder and she mumbles some stuff. She taps you on the other shoulder and mumbles out some stuff and then hits you on the head, and all of a sudden you're knighted. You guys remember flying into Fiddler? And we landed and we coasted up, and here was Nellie out there in an inner tube, in cutoffs, drinking coffee in 40-degree frickin' water. I mean, this guy is either tough, crazy, or all of the above. We fished that day, and if you remember, we took off, and then we made a pass back around, and we flew right over all our guides, and lo and behold, what did we see? We saw the biggest moon job I've ever seen. Now, the real memories for all of us, and the good memories, is that we got to fly to Canada in style, to a wonderful lodge. We caught large fish, we had great guides, and the best part of all this was what a great group of guys on this trip. When I come back, the Alpha Dog of 2013 is going to want to regain his Alpha Dog status. How was that, guys?
All right. Yeah. Well, I must admit, I can't explain any of these thoughts racing through my brain. It's true. Baby, I'm howling for you. Alright. There's something wrong with this plot. The actors here have lied.
Oh, just got rid of the Gotch group. We can do some fishing on our own now. About time. These guys can't fish all day. There's big fish all over the bay, like all over crawling. I must have saw hundreds of them, and they just couldn't hook them. I bet you if I throw one cast, I'll catch a giant fish. Oh, big fall, big fall, big fall. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, giant. Oh, okay. Drag. Big fish, big fish. Bumper, get over here. It's big. Oh, it's pulling me. We got him. Okay, it's sink and drag. Oh, okay, whoa. This isn't big. Okay, bumper. Get the GoPro ready. This is big. This is really big. Okay, bumper. Here. Oh, see that? Holy goodness! There it is! I got him! I got him! That's right, boys! That's right! Catching giants at Sandy Bar, wherever the hell we are. Oh, land him! Kill him! Don't lose him! Kill him! He's getting away! He's gonna spin it! Oh! Worst day ever. Wow, boys. Story of the trip. Big ones always get away.